The first test my client done was the vertical jump test. My client should have had some resting time in between the jumps, however she did not, therefore this needs to be improved upon. This means that her score was affected as she scored 215 centimetres, then 217 centimetres, and so on. Throughout the whole of the vertical jump test, she ensured that she kept her hand straight and did not bend it. This means that there was no effect on the final score. I feel that my client did not bend her legs the best she could, which means that if she had bent them all the way down, then she would have come out with a better score, as more power would have been put into the jump. By doing other exercises such as the leg press at 75 kg 3 times a week with 3 sets of 8, this should decrease her rest time. And after 2 weeks my client could increase the weight to 78 kg. My client's SMART targets for the vertical jump test, her specific target was to jump 2 centimetres higher than what she jumped in the previous testing. Her measurable target was that it will be measured after the 6 week is up, and that her score will be averaged, and her attainable target was it will be attainable to her, as in previous testing she did not use the full amount of power that she could have, which meant that her training which means that with training and the correct technique she will be able to jump 2 centimetres higher. This is a realistic target, as it's not impossible for her to do, although it means she will have to work hard and put a lot of effort in. And I've set my client a time of 6 weeks to complete this target. Her short-term goal is to research the correct position to get into before jumping and after jumping, so that her technique does not affect her score in the future. Her medium-term goal is to be able to jump 1.5 centimetres higher than her original score she scored in the previous testing, and her long-term goal is to jump 2 centimetres higher than her original score, and if this is achieved then she should continue her training and better her score. For the Illinois agility test, my client did not leave herself much resting time in between the 3 tests, which will have affected her overall results. My client ensured she ran the course correctly, and she asked me before doing the test which way she should go, so she had that in her head, so she didn't get too out of breath getting it wrong. My client scored below average for the test, as the average for a female taking part in Illinois is 17 seconds. The Illinois test tests for speed and agility, and my client could improve her speed and agility by using an agility ladder, 9 metres long and 18-inch block. As well as this, she could take part in short sprints to help get her speed up. My client's SMART targets for the Illinois agility test was, the specific one was my client should reduce her Illinois agility test run score by 1 second at the end of 6 weeks. This is measurable, as it will be measured by getting my client to undergo testing at the end of 6 weeks. It's attainable, as my client, if she trains hard enough with the agility ladder as well as other forms of training such as a 30-metre sprint test, she will be able to reduce her running time by a second. This is realistic, as I feel my client did not put in 100% maximum effort when undergoing testing. Therefore, with training she will be able to reduce her time. And again, I have set my client a time of 6 weeks to complete this specific SMART target. The goals for my client's Illinois agility test, the short-term goal is to research different ways in which she can train to better her test results. She should be undergoing exercises such as the agility ladder and the 30-metre sprint test to help achieve her long-term goal. If these don't suit her, then she could research more that suits her better. My client's medium-term goal for the Illinois agility test is to continue running the test every day and training for a better test score. my client should be getting a decrease in her time on the agility ladder and the 30-metre sprint test, as this will show that she is progressing. Her long-term goal is to reduce her Illinois test score by 1 second, and if she does this, she should continue training, or even if she doesn't, she should still continue training in the future to better further testing scores. The final test my client underwent was the sit and reach test. My client ensured she took her shoes off to get a more accurate score. She kept her legs straight and did not bend her knees throughout the entire testing, which could have affected her score. To improve, my client should have warmed up beforehand, therefore her score was not as good as it could have been. My client should have also held her stretch for a bit longer to ensure we took down the correct results, as well as this she should have put her head down when stretching, as this will increase the stretch as well. The sit and reach test checks for flexibility, so to improve my client's flexibility, she could do the hamstring and calf stretch. To do this, my client should place one leg in front of them and then do the stretch. This can be done 6 times a week, so she could do the inner thigh stretch as well. My client's SMART targets for the sit and reach test. She should increase her sit and reach test score by 3 centimetres at the end of 6 weeks. This is measurable, as it will be measured by getting my client to undergo testing at the end of 6 weeks. It's attainable to my client, as during previous testing my client had not warmed up, nor did she put her head down when stretching. This means that with the correct technique as well as training, she should be able to increase her score by 3 centimetres. This is realistic to my client, as if she trains during the 6 weeks and warms up correctly before testing, she will be able to meet the score. And again, I have set my client the time of 6 weeks to complete this SMART target. My client's sit and reach test short-term goal was to practice taking up the correct position, as she didn't do this in the previous testing with her head down, so that as she is able to carry out the test correctly at the end of the 6 weeks, bettering her results. My client's medium-term goal for the sit and reach test is to increase her score by 1.5 centimetres. This is over halfway, and continue with training to help improve her score. And as I said before, this can be done by doing inner thigh stretches and calf stretches. And my client's long-term goal is to increase her sit and reach test score by 3 centimetres. This will ensure, and if she does this, then she should carry on training to get a better score. My client, for the vertical jump test, I want my client to start doing yoga once a week so that she learns how to relax herself and is able to, before undergoing the vertical jump test, this will help her, as she will be able to put in more power to her jump. For the Illinois agility test, my client should start learning breathing techniques and practicing them so that she can do them without thinking about it too much when she needs to, before she does the Illinois test, as panicking may cause her loss of breath, which will affect her overall score. For the sit and reach test, I want my client to learn self-talk. This is a technique where my client will talk to herself in a positive way. This can help reduce her anxiety and improve concentration, as well as performance. And doing self-talk, it means she might be able to push herself a little bit further, as she is encouraging